Like Alan said, this guy was tougher than we had expected, even tougher than I expected. Maybe I wouldn't say I overlooked him a little bit, but I thought he'd be a little easier for me to get to than he actually was. A little mishap, a little knockdown. He hit me with a punch. I wasn't hurt. I was just off balance, so it was a legit knockdown. But I was far from hurt. But credit to him that he hit me and knocked me off balance, and it was a knockdown for him. But overall, me and Chris, like Chris said, usually I let people come towards me and I counterpunch them, but this time I had to be the hunter, and I was, and I pretty much won every round. And as the fight wore on, I felt more confident in my punches and won the fight easy. So next step.
Pleasure. You seem really mad and irritated after the knockdown. Is it just because you made a mistake, or?
Yeah, just because it was. For me, it's humiliating, to let a guy like that, especially I had him hurt, I jumped in, square, and I was off balance, and he hit me with a shot that, like I said, and like everyone's seen, I was far from hurt, I was just off balance. But, it happens, it's embarrassing, it's more frustration. After 21 years of boxing, you don't want to see stuff like that happen, especially, me, I'm a perfectionist, and, it just really got under my skin.
You didn't seem to dominate the way you were after the knockdown.
The rest of the fight?
Yeah.
I felt I dominated the rest of the fight.
In the same style as you had previously.
Yeah.
Steve, I noticed after the knockdown, you mentioned you were looking over into the corner of Chris. Now, what were you guys communicating at that time?
Just, I know when Chris looks at me, he'll know if I'm okay or if I'm really hurt. But, right when it happened, I'm sure that he knew it was a balancing. Everyone, you can watch the tape again. I wasn't hurt, I wasn't wobbly. I was just grabbing and holding and let this guy throw his wild punches. You know what I mean?
Do you think you're ready for a championship fight at this point? Given that 3 fights in TV time?
I defended my world title 5 times. I won the world title overseas. I'm without a doubt I'm ready for my world title fight.
Let me interject here. This Rama, this is a house that Steve Molitor built. And what he's done in the last, sorry Mr. Tremblay, beside yourself, but what he's done in the last 2-3 years is awesome. We've seen performances from Steve Molitor that's just captivating to the eye. He's lifted the emotions high and low. And what you're getting ready to see come March is a scintillating performance. We will be world champion again. Now he has nothing to do but to rise. This performance helps him, makes him hungry, and will bring him to the world title. So ask all the questions you need to ask, because come when he fights for the world title, you're going to see a showstopper.
Were you at all disappointed with the crowd's reaction at the time?
No, not at all. Like I said, I've defended my world title here many times. I can't put on spectacular performances the whole time. And I don't know what part of the crowd that you were hearing, but I heard them cheer and appreciate when I had them go punishing them repeatedly every round.
Steve, how would you rate your performance?
It wasn't my best performance, but it wasn't my worst performance. This guy was awkward. He wanted to run, and he wanted to stand there and swing wild, awkward punches. You know what I mean? What can you do? You can't, like I said, you can't have a superstar performance every time. I did what I had to do. I got the W, and I can't complain.
Does the boxing examiner have any questions?
No, good job, Steve.
Thank you, Darrell.
From the pure spectacle of an event, we've had 2 tremendous back-to-back fight cards with all good action fights all the way through. And again, my partners from Casino Rama who are here and back me and allow me to do that. It's obviously because of them that we have the opportunity to stage all these fights. You have to appreciate when you put on Steve Molitor and Marvin Sonsona on the same fight card, there's a dollar figure that gets wrapped around that with the cost of television and paying the other fighters and the way we handle everything at a very high end. It's an expensive thing. We all invest right back in it, but it all starts with Casino Rama, and I know the boys are here somewhere, and we're most appreciative. Thank you. Any other questions for Steve or Chris?
That one here, comment here. Chris talked about title fighting this evening sometime in March. Is that going to be official? Are we going to see, after solid performances, after the last time we had Molitor, you guys put on quite a show with his past fights. Is that going to be official? Are we going to see him?
Well, it has to play its course, but I hate to put a percentage on it, but I'm feeling good about it. It has been the master plan. It's been a year to the date. We really actually don't like November 21st. There's weird things happen, but it's been a year to the date, and I think the normal course of trying to get Steve back in play. Don't forget as well, we shut him down for a long period of time. That cut into that time frame, which was the right thing to do. We brought Chris back into play, which was the right thing to do. Meantime, we went out and we got him rated in all of the organizations. He's number 3 in the WBC, number 2 in the IBF. He's number 8, I think, in the WBA, 11 in the WBO, and in the Ring magazine, which groups them all, he's rated number 5. 4. Is it 4? Oh, we're up to 4. Good. And so we've done our job getting him back out there. So there's opportunities abound. A lot of fighters are moving up in weight. A lot of things and dynamics are changing. It changes, I can tell you, by the day. But the other thing I can do is we're right on top of all that change. And we will jump on the opportunity that makes sense. Obviously, I can get a fight for the world title if I want to go to Tokyo, Japan, or if I want to go to South Africa. I don't want to do that. I want to bring the fight here to Casino Rama, where it belongs. The folks here have earned it. It gives Steve the best chance to win and us the best exposure. So all of that stuff comes into play, but I'm feeling good about it.
I don't know if you may ask you about that knockdown, but it looked like it was like you caught your foot behind that. Kind of you mixed your feet up a little bit and you were a little off balance.
Yeah, I did answer that. I was off balance, like I told everyone else earlier, Joe. I had him hurt, and I jumped on him with my feet squared up, and he caught me on top of the head. I wasn't hurt, but what can you do?
Did you experience something like a good test player?
It was good. It was a different fight. Like I said, the guy was awkward. He was running and stopping, throwing wild punches. So it was a different kind of fight. And in my quest to be world champion for the second time, you got to fight all sorts of different guys: tall guys, short guys, awkward guys. You know what I mean? It was a learning experience for me.
Steve, when you look back at a fight like this, are you able to look back and remember what you did right, or are you going to be dwelling on the fact that you went down in one punch?
No, I'll look at the things I did right. When I used my jab and I stopped him in the tracks, and when I did throw body shots, but I didn't do enough of, it stopped him and hurt him. But there's learning experience, and there's things that also bothered me as well, obviously.
I know Chris was telling you to work the body between rounds, but it was hard to do that, it seems like, because he's bending at the waist.
Yeah, he was just a really awkward guy, and swinging his head around, and it was just a really awkward fight for me. But we got the W, and we're looking forward to the future now.
One last question?
Any idea who that might be in March?
That's dark toward you.
Well, to be able to get the fight here, my instincts tell me it'll probably be the IBF. If it's the IBF, the opponent will be Takalani and Lobo, which is a rematch of Rumble that Rama won. He's gone back on and fought his way all the way up to the top to be the #1 contender. We're at 2. And I'm pretty sure the title will be vacant and when we'll fight 2. Hopefully here. I'll be here.
For all 3 of us.
Yeah, it's been a long road back. We can do the movie later. Okay. Thank you, very kind.